We're back with another $2 Highlander deck tech. It's a format we created to have a new meta for Commander, make the decks more affordable for people who like building a ton of decks and not shelling out a ton of cash. I'm here with Henry, and he's going to tell you about his deck.
Alright, my deck's Jarad Lichlord. I love this deck because I've loved black-green ever since I was like in middle school, and I just love the feeling of creeping inevitability, where people take you down, but then he just pops out of the graveyard and punches them in the face. Just keeps coming back for more. I decided to go with a slight tribal theme, as you'll see right here. It's a lot of zombies and zombie tribal stuff in here. I'll just go over some key cards. So, Zombie Apocalypse. This is the card that allows the deck to go wide. Let's say you dredge a bunch of zombies in your yard, and then those zombies play double duty. You can either pump Jarad with them and have Jarad beat people's faces, or you can bring them out with Zombie Apocalypse. Army of the Damned is also just, 13 2/2 zombies. You can either fling them with Jarad, or you can use them to block, or you can sacrifice them to stuff. Just a very useful card. There's also Obelisk of Erd. Makes the zombies bigger. Call to the Grave is a slight control element, because the deck tends to have a lot of zombies in it. Other people probably don't play zombies, so you destroy them very slowly, while your guys just sort of stand there and look cool. Let's see, Chameleon Colossus, you like to fling this guy with Jarad. Phyrexian Delver reanimates stuff, like back in the day it used to reanimate Golgari Grave Troll, but he's gone. Vulture Zombie, gets big, throw Jarad, Grey Merchant Asphodel, gains you a bunch of life. And the rest, just a bunch of typical zombie tribal stuff. Now, the next category of cards I'm going to go over are my just general graveyard interactions. So, Nightmare Void. Control decks hate this card a lot, because they'll try to counter it, because every turn you're going to be like, show me your hand, buddy. And then they're like, I don't want to show you my hand. They'll counter it, and then you'll just get it back next turn. Just dredge it over and over. It makes Jarad get bigger. It gets the things you want in your yard, in the yard. And it just happens every turn. It's just a nightmare for control decks. Fadia Seer has interesting interactions with Dredge. You activate it. If you activate it and you instead of drawing a card, you choose to dredge, you get to dredge that card, and you keep it. Because of some weird rules interaction. I don't know exactly. But it's also just really good at every turn. It's like, yo, I want a land, you'll get a land. You want something in your yard, because you should want something in your yard, you'll put it there. Just a great random card. Kessid Cage Breakers. You fill up your yard, you get wolves. It's great. Nyx Weaver, so I was thinking of running Restock or Regrowth or, any of those random effects. But those are a lot harder to recur in black and green. Nyx Weaver is a creature, so it's very easy to just reanimate it when you need to do a big, long, complex chain of, getting a specific card out of your yard. It also self-mills and it has reach. It is just a great, great card. Deadbridge Chant is an all-star. Every time I resolve this, people want to rip their hair out. It's got so much grindy advantage. Mulch, self-mill, gets you lands, And then, of course, Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp is an awesome chump blocker. It also can just pick up a Loxodon Warhammer and start punching people in the face. And, of course, it dredges. You want to dredge this every turn if you can get it. Now let's go over the card advantage. I don't run that much in my deck because it's more of a grindier deck, but Disciple of Bolas is too awesome not to play. You get out a big Jarad, or a big Chameleon Colossus or something, slam the Disciple, gain a bunch of life, draw a bunch of cards, and then hopefully you draw a reanimation spell somewhere in that stack. Moonlight Bargain, let's see, Joel likes to call it the black, what does he say? He called it the black dig through time. Because you cast this, and it's kind of like casting Dig Through Time. You just pick your best cards, and you dump the dredgers into your yard, and you keep the rest. Very, very underrated card in EDH. I run Harvester Souls and Soul to Harvest, because this deck needs to draw cards. That's a good way to do it. I run 3 board wipes. I run Life's Finale, Black Sun Zenith, and Decree of Pain, just because they're big, they're black, they're cheap, and they blow everything up. Then I'm going to go over some interesting non-basic lands. So, Svogtoss the Restless Tomb. I've run into this situation a lot, where you have a bunch of dudes in your yard, but no way to reanimate them, and you have Jarad in play, and you want to throw them. Well, you know what? You just turn Svogtoss into a big plant zombie, because its power and toughness are equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard, and throw your land at everybody. It's great. Grim Backwoods is just another grindy card advantage card. Doesn't really cost you that much in terms of deck slots, because you just play it over like a basic land. Crypt of Agadim. Yeah, just look at it. It gets there. Let's see, and then I'll go over some of my finishers. So, Triumph of the Hordes. Just cast this while you have a bunch of zombies in play, a bunch of tokens off of your Army of the Damned, and just wreck someone's face. Profane command, give all my legal targets fear. Make someone lose X life, reanimate something. It's just like a Swiss Army knife card. Very powerful. Sepulchral Primordial. It just, reanimates all the big fatties that have happened after the dust settles, and then they come back and punch everyone else in the face. Sylvan Might. Now this is a really weird looking one. The reason why I run it is that I run into this situation a lot. I have a big Jarad, but they have chump blockers. And I need something that I can dredge into the yard, or mill into my yard, that has flashback and gives trample. This was the only card I could find. It's also just a pretty good combat trick. +2/+2 and trample on like a Chameleon Colossus. Can destroy someone's face. And then Overrun. We all know what this card does. Basically another copy of Triumph of the Hordes, or other way around. And that's my deck.
Alright, Henry, tell us what you like about the format and how many decks you've built so far.
Let's see, I got 3 different $2 Highlander decks. I've got Jarad, I've got Tiber and Lumia, and I've got Shuyin the Silent Tempest. The thing I like most about the format is so Tibor and Lumia, just look it up right now. TIBORANDLUMIA. It's not a very powerful card, but it can't stand at unless you have a ton of money or something, it's not going to work in normal EDH. Normal EDH. But in budget EDH, you can play quote-unquote underpowered generals as much as you want and have a great time.
So it's kind of a Johnny format?
Yeah.
Alright, thanks for your time, Henry. Nice job.
Yeah.